apparently it's Weeb Week, because first a video about Attack on Titan, and now this. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to see an article about it or something, and I never saw anything about it. Just rumors of this and that. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but apparently they redubbed Neon Genesis Evangelion for Netflix. I have seen clips of it. It's bad. It's really bad. It doesn't have the same enthusiasm. It doesn't have the same script, to be honest with you. It has nothing of the original. From what I have seen of it, it honestly feels like the people who were doing the dubbing didn't realize that they were touching a classic work. Despite the Berserk poster over my shoulder, I don't consider myself that big of an anime fan. But I do have certain ones, anime or manga, that I really, really enjoy. Manga-wise, Battle Angel Alita, Gundam, for those originally is what it's called. And all three of those series, which is Gundam, Last Order, and then Mars Chronicle. Berserk, obviously. And Devilman. Incredible stories. And then, of course, with anime, you know, there's not a ton, but I've got Gundam. Love some Gundam. You know, I love the 91 Berserk anime. And there's a few others, but one of the big ones, because I'm big into mecha, is Neon Genesis Evangelion. And Evangelion, up until the end of the anime, because they started running out of the budget, is probably one of the best Monster of the Week shows you're ever going to watch, because it is basically Monster of the Week, plus an added bit of philosophy to it, plus some very well-developed characters. In a sense, it's the same kind of Monster of the Week in regards to concept, like, you know, aiming to high concept, but still trying to entertain, like Star Trek is, in a lot of ways. And I mean, like, the original Star Trek. But more symbolism. Especially, you know, being a Christian, you know, it's Christian symbolism to me is always interesting in how people use it. Because some people use it to be creepy, myself included, oddly enough, as a writer, but some people use it to signify other things and different things about the way humanity perceives the universe and so on and so forth. And Hideaki Anno did that a lot in Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is why I always really liked the vibe of it. You know, I thought that Shinji, the lead character, was one of the more intriguing protagonists I've ever seen, because he's a whiny little bitch getting the fucking robot kid. And I don't want to spoil it, because I want people to go out and seek out this series, but not this version. I actually thought about, and I'm still considering doing, a Things I Love Neon Genesis Evangelion, because I haven't done one of those in a while. And I really feel like there is a generation of anime fans that missed out on the stuff that people my age, you know, late 20s, early 30s, got involved in. You know, and some of that stuff you can find on, like, Amazon Prime, like the old OVA of Fist of the North Star, which me and my artist for Inglewood, Brian Martinez, were both big fans of Fist of the North Star. And I'm getting more into Hokuto no Ken as it goes on. You know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I saw, like, the OVA. I remember somebody telling me that they really liked JoJo, and I sent them the clip of Iggy dying in the OVA, and they're like, Jesus Christ! But anime was hardcore at the time. It was the sort of thing that you would go to, and you'd see this unrated section in your video store, and a lot of it would be anime. Old, just 90s anime. You know, some people call it the animation age ghetto. You know, because keep in mind, the first episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion aired on Toonami once. Food for thought. But it is a classic. A lot of people really enjoy it because it is really intriguing in the sense that it has mecha elements, sort of a high concept nihilism to it. And on top of that, horror elements as well. And it really is a very unique take on the mecha genre. Is it a deconstruction? I don't know what to say. But either way, it's considered one of the greatest of all time. Even with the last two episodes being infamous for, being... They make fun of it in the anime. I bet you ran out of film ink too, you bastards. Like, anybody who knows Eva will know what I just meant when I say that. I'm ranting. I know I'm ranting, but this really pisses me off. And the reason that it does is because the original dub for Neon Genesis Evangelion had a lot of love put into it. From what I noticed, like, the voice actors really liked what they were doing. They were really into it, and you could feel that through the performances. You could feel the emotion. You could feel the fact that they were acting. In this new one, it feels like they're kind of acting, or they're acting ironically. Like, oh, look, I'm dubbing Eva. Doesn't that make me look great? Hey, how can we fit another reference to feminism in a Dragon Maid story? Fucking kill me! Ugh. Entertainment's very serious. Seriously, it's very serious. Super serious. There's not a Cthulhu behind me. You're imagining it. So, why redub it? Doesn't make any sense. They redubbed it. They couldn't even get the rights to Fly Me to the Moon. And they've been promoting this for months. Now, everything Evangelion is on Netflix, from what I know, like, from what I've heard. Like, the movies, the full-length movies are, which oddly enough have the old cast in them. End of Evangelion, from what I've been told, is on there, and dear God, is that a fucking trip. I don't know if that's been redubbed. I hope not. But the fact that they redubbed the original for no fucking reason is the same reason that I have never gone and bought a physical copy on Blu-ray of Akira, is because they redubbed that too. For those who don't know, Akira, Kaneda, the lead character in the story Akira, were really the lead protagonist, is voiced by the same guy who did Liquid Snake, Cam Clark. And they just didn't bring him back for whatever reason. Probably because he's too expensive. And this is the problem that I have with it, is that Netflix, as a platform, could have spent the money to, if they had to, redub Evangelion with the original cast. They had that ability. They have the budget. But what they prefer to do is they prefer to spend it on series that ultimately flop or don't get watched that often. Did you know that Jessica Jones Season 3 is out? I didn't. I had no fucking clue, and I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it. In a lot of ways, nobody's talking about Netflix in general. At least not in a positive light. I'm not saying that they're canceled or what the fuck ever, but what I am saying is this, is that they have a problem with budgeting. And they have a problem with not seeing opportunity in this particular case. What the opportunity was, like I was trying to get to and kind of lost track there, was that you have these younger people who are into anime that have not seen the older stuff that guys my generation have and grew up on, in a sense. You know, that weren't people that weren't involved in that animation age ghetto where you're looking forward to Toonami because Dragon Ball Z's on there, or Gundam Wing is on there, or G Gundam, or several other different shows that were on there, or the stuff that played on Adult Swim back in the day that you felt almost weird watching it, and younger people really missed out on that because it wasn't the internet age where you could click a button, you got Crunchyroll and a ton of anime right in front of you. What we got was the crazy shit, and that was part of the fun. You kind of felt like you were part of an underground, in a sense, when you met somebody who was into it, you were like, okay, so you've seen Demon City Shinjuku, right? Little stuff like that. I cannot stand the idea of taking a classic anything and trying to put a new spin on it, or trying to redub it, or something like that. You didn't have to do it. It was pointless. It made no sense to do so. All you have to do is remaster it. That's it. That's really all you have to do. But they don't. Some things don't need a modern day treatment. They just need that little bit of touch up to put them on your platform and let people sit down with a bowl of popcorn and enjoy. And Netflix, you managed to fuck that up, and that's what you built your platform on. Nice job. GG. My name is Micah Curtis, your favorite vanilla gorilla. I'll see you next time. Days full. Ish.